way.
I love it. Well, you've been in so many, you later worked with David Lynch, obviously, in Twin Peaks and, Walking Dead. You've been in so many iconic roles and TV shows, but humor me for a minute at the beginning of your career. I am a self-respecting gay man, so I need to ask,
Yes.
1995, let's talk for a minute, Four Rooms. You play Madonna's lover, Madonna's girlfriend, whatever we want to call it. What was it like working on that movie with Madonna?
I had the biggest crush on her. I mean, I had listened to her Bedtime Stories album, which had just come out, probably 200 times already at that point. I loved the album deeply and thought she was extraordinary, which she is. She's what she's accomplished and the strength with which she carved out her own career and her own path and changed that path for everyone to follow. She smelled like gardenias and she was so fabulous, and she showered me with presents upon first meeting me. I also learned that Alison Anders, the director of our segment, had given her the option between me and three other young girls to play that role. And she picked me personally. She had seen me in a movie called Fun I Did. That was my first lead. It had just been at Sundance. And so I knew not only was I playing her lover, but she chose me. She drew a little heart on my blue jeans that I wore at the table read that first day. We sat next to each other and I was completely smitten. And I still have a necklace that she gave me too.
Do you see the smile on my face? Did you learn anything from working with her? Because listen, her music is obviously legendary. She's about to head up, but she gets so much flack for her acting. Did you learn anything from her on that movie?
Yes, I did. I was really moved because even as an 18-year-old, I'd been acting for a moment and I had some experience. And at that table read, she was so nervous. This iconic world star. She was so nervous that the pages that she held in her hand were shaking because she wanted to do a good job, because she knew she wasn't primarily known as an actor. She worked so hard on it and she really put her heart into it and cared. And she and I improvised a scene that unfortunately didn't end up in the movie because of time, but there was a kiss in the scene. So I did get to kiss her. And she that's one thing I learned. And I also had the opportunity to talk to her once my initial starstruckness wore off. We had some really amazing conversations, and I asked her about inspiration behind some things. And I won't share that because I felt like I didn't know if it was for public consumption or not, but she was very open with me. And I've remembered that over the years, just no matter how successful you might be perceived to be, it always comes down to what the song means. And there are songs on Bedtime Stories that were very, very personal for her. And I think that's why, as an 18-year-old, I resonated with those songs. It wasn't like a Madonna hit. It was just a woman who had gone through something and put it out into song. That's what I'm trying to do with my music.
You're
It's
doing it.
yeah.
What about, everything you were saying about the Masked Singer resonated with me. What do you think, and this does tie into kind of Madonna, here she is, she gets so much flack, she's 64. People are constantly talking about her looks on Instagram. She almost crashed the internet with her face because, quote unquote, her face because of the Grammys. Kind of everything you were saying about your experience on the Masked Singer, to sing in a costume and where do you think we are in the music business, Hollywood, that, a woman who is an icon, is still getting this type of flack? And it does tie into when you're singing in a costume and it takes away all preconceived notions.
It's interesting. We have in a way, I think, hit mass consumption when it comes to the quote unquote perfect look. Certain individuals who have been very well known have kind of perpetuated an image of having everything look perfect and flawless. And I noticed the younger generation is rebelling against that a bit. I'm somebody that when I watch actors in particular, but also singers, to be honest with you, I want to see expression. I love the rawness of it. Like people that like Juliette Lewis, she's a gal, a few, like, I think she's like 2 years older than me, but we're like the same age, we're peers. I fucking love her. I love that she wears her wrinkles and her like expression and the life lived. She's a badass. And Judi Dench to me is so beautiful, and Maggie Smith and Jamie Lee Curtis. Those are the women I'm aspiring to look like from a physical perspective. So I've chosen to not do Botox or fillers or any of that stuff. And I'm really interested in seeing the younger generation kind of embracing that way more than I even did when I was in my 20s. And like a teenager, I was already thinking, oh goodness, I'm not supposed to get wrinkles when I get older. But I think the emphasis on what we look like and all the filters we use on Instagram and stuff, we're going to have a rebellion against all that. So hopefully in the near future, it's going to be more about what's real and less about putting on appearances to be supposedly accepted.
I hope so. You should read Justine Bateman's book, Face. You know, Justine Bateman, it's like, it's all about that. And it's great. It's all about how she's like, I love my face. I will never stick a needle into it. And I don't even understand how people do that. It's a great book.
I love her face too. That's another beautiful example.
And
it's getting to be a rarity. Bet you Justine Bateman's going to get a lot of roles now, because I know from having conversations with directors who have lamented, like, here's my list of 5 women in their 50s who I want to cast, but I can't cast them because they don't look real. This movie's set in 1890. You know, you have to have a real person.
That is so great to hear, actually.
Yeah.
What about you? Talk about, you know, this advice Madonna gave you on music and, you know, personally, talk to me about your new song, Witness, which I know is highly personal. And the video was great too.
Thank you. It's all about being a witness to something that you might have imagined was impossible to get through. If someone said, this is the time you're about to live through, these are the things that are going to happen all at once, and you're going to have to face that. It would not seem possible, but then you get through it because you have no choice. This is what God has given you, and you go through it. The people that walk side by side with you through a time like that are forever your witness to what you've gone through, and it gives you the chance to be witness to them. And I wanted to write a song about what that experience is like, and also connect to everyone who has gone through something unimaginable and come out the other side stronger and forever changed.
It's so profound. For anyone who hasn't heard the song, has to go listen. They have to watch this video. It's great. I know you're playing City Winery later this year to celebrate the release of your EP. So, you know, congratulations. Hopefully you'll be making much more music, that this Masked Singer has inspired you to keep down the music trail.
Thank you.
And I could talk to you for hours.
Album. I've put out, this is the 6th one. So there's a lot of music out there. And this EP Witness is, yeah, I'm really proud of it so far. Thank you.
Anytime. I'll share your socials with everyone. And I really appreciate your time. And I really appreciated talking to you.